are you guys doing? Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, it's good to see you again.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we did a video not too. What was it? 2 years ago, maybe?
Oh, it had to be longer than that.
2 or 3 years ago?
Had to be longer than that. Yeah.
I don't remember the exact year.
Time flies, man. It seemed like yesterday almost.
Yeah, it does.
That was my first time to Niagara Falls, so it was awesome. So for people that don't know, you guys have the world's widest tongues, right?
Male and female.
And your father and daughter.
Yes.
That's right. I tell people she inherited my tongue and my good looks.
Every time.
Every time. Yeah, every time.
So I guess just to kind of get into it, maybe I don't remember like how wide it is, or
when I first broke the record, my tongue was 8.3 centimeters.
8.3.
And then we found out that she had the world's widest tongue for a female.
It was 7.9 centimeters.
So yours is?
I think so.
So when she had hers measured again, we went through the whole process. I said, let's remeasure mine. And then mine was 8.6.
Wow.
So from sticking it out for a year and a half or 2 years, it's just like anything else. It's a muscle, and it's funny when you first start sticking out of your tongue, you don't know you can stretch it. I mean, my tongue's actually bigger than my mouth. So I'm limited to how wide my mouth can open because my tongue's wider than the opening, but that's how they measure it, is you stick it out and measure it. So but it's one of those things I haven't measured. I don't think I've measured it since we haven't measured.
Yeah, no, me
that was probably 4 years ago.
For Guinness Book of World Records?
Yeah.
Well, the Rome trip was 2 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
I remember I was 17.
Yeah, 2 years ago, almost to the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last November.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is right. So I believe when I was talking with you, Emily, you're like, yeah, I think my dad's tongue is getting bigger because he sticks it out for everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, your tongue can get bigger over time? And then it's right. It's like just a muscle, so muscles get bigger. So
when you stretch it, you work it out, you stick it out. I eat a lot.
Out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the only part of my body I do work out. So
So I guess just to kind of like backtracks for people that haven't watched the video or even know, Byron, when did you figure out, did you figure out you had a wide tongue as a child? Like, I don't quite remember how that all happened.
What happened was Emily, I think you were probably 12 or 13.
6th grade, so probably.
And she came home and it was like 7:30 at night. The library closed at 8. And she said, I need to go to the library, get a library book for a school project tomorrow. I have to have a book. And so I said, okay, well, let's go. It's going to close. And we're walking through the book. She said it had to be a nonfiction book, right?
Yep.
And I asked her, I said, what do you need it for? And you said?
I said that every day I had to write down a fact out of the book on a worksheet.
So, I want to go home. Like, all right, let's pick a book.
Like, I didn't want to be there either. I mean, I had to.
Yeah. So I said, well, here's the Guinness Book of World Records. All it is facts. Everything you write in here is a fact. So I reached up and I flipped to that page, the same book that you have there on the paperback one, and flipped to that page. And, well, actually, no, it was a 2012 Guinness book. The one I gave you was with ours. But, and I flipped to that page and I said, look, here's the lady with the longest legs, the guy with the widest tongue. Anything in here is a fact. And you were kind of reluctant.
Well, because it would have just been a world record every day, and I felt like my teacher would get tired of it, honestly. I mean, she sent me to go get a new book because the first book I was trying to use was one I already read, so she said it didn't count. So that was the whole reason we were there in the first place.
Yeah, so it was just one of those stupid things that I saw a picture of that guy. He was from Australia. I don't remember his name offhand, but...
Jay Sloot.
There you go, brainiac there.
Of course I remember.
And so on the way home, I started to think I think my tongue looks like that. I don't think that's unusual.
That was a weird conversation to start having in the middle
of the drive.
drive.
So coming home, asked my wife to measure it. She said, get away from me. And so my oldest daughter measured it, and she said, I think it's wider, but I don't know. How do you measure a tongue? And so I told that story to friends and neighbors for about 3 or 4 months. Just thought it was a funny story. And then somebody said, you should write to Guinness. And I thought, So I finally did. And when I write a letter, it's just like, you write this letter, it's a canvas thing. And they sent me a letter right back, that immediate response said, thank you.
Wow.
We want, I don't know, I can't
$2,500.
$2,500 to come out and measure your tongue. That's the minimum. And then $1,000 to use our logo. It turned out to be like about $5,000.
I think so.
Did you pay it?
No, well, I emailed him right back. I said, I'm just a silly guy from Syracuse who thought this would be funny. I said, I'm not paying you anything. I said, I'm sad that this is how Guinness gets their records. I didn't realize that was how you make your money. I just thought it'd be fun. I thought you would want to know who has the record as opposed to that. And I said, I'm not paying you anything. And that was it. Which was the truth. I wasn't, it was just.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
I didn't realize at the time too, that a lot of people apply for silly records for publicity. Or a company will do it to be able to say they're make the biggest, world's biggest cupcake or.
Well, because I think a lot of records are stunts.
Yeah.
So like people try to accomplish things and outdo each other. Like for us, we didn't really have to do anything.
Yeah.
But even then, I know other people like world records and Guinness Book. Like I love that stuff. And even stunts or other things, it's like most people don't have $5,000 just to throw out there. You know what I mean?
I think they're looking to make money, but then I understand too. I didn't understand at the time if they flew somebody out to check and it wasn't how they'd never make money that way.
Right.
So I just didn't understand. So then about 8 months later, I get an email from a lady named Jenny in London, and she said I was throwing out all these old records that nobody applied with, and yours caught my eye. Your response caught my eye.
Yeah.
And said, just send me a quick picture of you sticking out your tongue, measuring it. So I did. They sent me the rules and they said, okay, we're not going to charge you anything, which now I realize there's a free way to apply for records. It's just a little more tedious and stuff. When they sent me that letter back, that was the first paragraph. I'm one of those guys that read like the first 3 sentences. I'm like, I got this.
Oh, no, don't do it.
Yeah, it's true. Because if you read down, they say, well, there's a way to apply for free and
okay.
all the fine print stuff. But they had me go see a doctor and make sure I didn't have any condition or anything like that. She showed me how to do it. We videotaped it continuously, did everything that she said and mailed it in. And then I get a certificate in the mail. That was really, And then they sent out a photographer to do a photo shoot, which you were at that too, right?
Yeah, I think we all were.
And it was one of those things. How do you not go to that? I mean, licking lollipops and they're putting makeup on me. It was just one of those funny, goofy things. And then
did they ask you the typical, how many licks does it take to get to the...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I used to hang on the door in my office I don't know how many licks it takes to get to the center of a tit spot. And then they say, okay, and that's it. And that was it. And then they told me, well, you may be in the book, you may not, it depends. And when the book in 2015 came out, I went to Target the day it came out, bought it, and looked at it, and there I was. So I bought it in Target. My first picture of me holding the Guinness book was in Target.
That's awesome.
And everybody commented on it and said, why are you in Target? So I had to tell them, no, I got to buy the book. And they're like, they don't give you a book? It's like, no, they don't, there's thousands of people in that book. How could they give away a book to everybody?
Yeah, that's a lot of cash.
But all that being said, Guinness is a class act. No doubt about it, 100%. When we went to the show in Italy, which we'll get into later, they don't make anybody feel odd or stupid or crazy or insult you. They make it sound like it's, right? They don't make you feel bad.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So then after the book came out, I don't know, it was a year later we realized you had the widest tongue?
I'd say about a year.
And then she didn't want to do it. Which you can tell that part.
I was like in 7th grade, probably 13 years old.
Yeah.
At the point, I'm kind of thinking like, what a weird thing to happen to me. And I thought it was strange. Like, the idea of Guinness was fun in itself. And I thought, for my tongue, I thought that was kind of strange. But then I kind of was like, well, what an experience that would be. There's really no reason to, I don't know, not go for it. So I thought, hey, it might be fun to see what happens after this. And
I think she saw how much fun I was having with it.
Yeah, you definitely have a lot of fun. I know that.
It's weird, right? You think people will be weird, and people are weird, but it just depends on how you take it,
Yeah.
So people email crude and weird things, and I or not email, but they, on the post, I would answer all the posts. I'd just sit there for hours at night, where somebody would write something even cruel, like, hey, your nose is bent. Like, yeah, well, I'd write something like, well, that's not my fault, or I just make a joke about it, and then they'd be like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that you would actually read
because
that."
You responded and you saw that.
I would respond to everybody. I'd sit up for hours at night responding to people, good comments, bad comments, or people would say, that's gross, and or something like that, and I'd be like, "Yeah, that's the proper response,"
I just thought it was comments. Neat. I avoid the comments; they weird me out.
Yeah, she didn't read them like I did. I obsessed over them.
You love it though. I do remember even when we were at Niagara Falls, like, you know, people would come up and remember that one guy who actually had like a really wide, long tongue. He
a long tongue. Yeah.
He was so happy to show you his tongue.
Yeah. I think it's fun. I've had no real negative experiences about it. Even what you would think would be negative, you know, is you just got to take it in stride. And I tell people all the time, and this is the honest to God truth, I do still to this day have stalkers.
Yeah.
And they are mostly middle-aged men.
What?
Yeah. Oh, you get offers. They want to fly you to London. They want to pay you for videos. You don't read your comments, do you?
I don't use social media that much. I don't post about
thank
it at
God.
all. I've only seen the YouTube comments on other videos we did and your video of us. And some of them are like, wow, this is so cool. And other ones are very weird. And none of them are like directed towards me. So I never think to like respond. I just kind of read it and I'm like, that's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, some people would say, how could you let your daughter do that? You know,
I mean, yeah, how could
I'm joking.
Well, I think it is probably different for a girl, right? Is it different for you, Emily? You know, to
I mean, 'cause they kind of had to like make the record for me in a way, right?
Yeah, there wasn't a record before. There was a record in another book. There's 3 different books that do world records.
I didn't even know that.
One of them's out of India. I forget where the other one was. And there was a record in one of those books, and that's where she had a wider tongue than her. And I don't even remember how long. But then we had to apply to create the record to Guinness of a female. And then they accepted it. And once they accepted it, that's when we sent in the proof.
Because there is the world's longest tongue, but I think it's for both men and women. So
yeah, there was a longest tongue for male and female already, but not widest tongue for female.
Right. So they might as well do it, you know. And you currently still hold that, right, Emily?
Yes, I do. As far as I know.
Yeah, we have. You know, it's funny when you first break a record, you're a little obsessed with it. Like you look all the time and read the comments. I don't even look at it anymore. You know, or,
no, it gets brought up every so often, but most of the time it kind of blew over. It's not really as prominent now.
Yeah, well, we don't talk about it as much. It's like
no,
everybody knows. You know, all our friends know. It's like, yeah, okay, tell me the story again.
But every so often when we're out or doing something or like I'm applying for something, he'll always be like, tell him the tongue story. They'll remember you that way.
That's right.
Like, no.
People don't forget it when you tell them the tongue story. It's hysterical. I work I work for the New York State at the New York State Fair, and you know we hold all these events, and you know when you have an event with 1.3 million people, there's always people that are mad. You know, there's somebody that ruined a day or whatever, and my boss my boss will text me, you know, go take care of these people. So I'll go, these people be livid. Like, I'm never coming back here. I'm suing you. And I say, I understand. You know, you have every right to sue us, but let me tell you a story. So I tell that story, and the next thing you know, I'm taking pictures with him, like, I love you, you know. And they forget about the name. And I enjoy that, you know. It's like having a party for 1 million friends, and when you want everybody to have a good time. And there's just been so many stories over the years with it. Or my boss will call me at night, and he's like, I'm sitting out here, and some lady told me that the guy with the widest tongue works here, and she wants to meet you. And I'm like, I'm already at home in bed. I can't, you know.
Wow.
But it's
yeah,
just,
I think if I had that, I would definitely show everybody.
Yeah. How can you not? If you're going to be in the book, you might as, you know, you gotta be out there. So.
Emily, you're in college now, right?
Yes.
That's a great icebreaker. You gotta pull it out. Be like, look at this.
I mean, well, the weird thing is, mostly through high school, people started to recognize it because when he started it, it was like in the newspaper and online, and they knew him as my dad, and they would point it out to me. But then when I got into the book, there were a few people that I knew that talked to me about it, and even some random people I never met before who apparently recognized me. And as I went, I'm at community college, so a lot of the people from my high school are also there. So some of them sometimes are still like, hey, wait a minute, aren't you in the Guinness book?
You're like,
and
yeah.
Most often, it hasn't really been brought up as much because there are people that I've never met before. And it's not even just that. Like, people who find it and realize it and then they see me, they'll ask me about it. But the conversations usually don't last long. But,
do they ask to see it?
Oddly enough, no. A lot of the time, people don't ask to, and I feel
they're embarrassed to. See, I'm always out there. I'll say, "Would you like to see it?"
Yeah. So that's.
I don't ask that because I'm like, this is gonna be weird if I ask them to see it. I'm gonna wait. If they don't want to, if they wanted to, they'd ask. So
No, I think most of them are embarrassed because most of them will be like, yeah, but I didn't want to
well,
ask.
I'm just awkward that way where I was kind of like, I don't want to be the one to propose.
Right.
I-
Well, even
I-
Becky, my wife, after a while, when somebody hears the story, she'll tell him, he'll take a picture with you if you want, or whatever. You're like, really? Because I didn't want to
Yeah.
ask, you know? Yeah, why not? What the hell?
Usually you're the one to give me that push to
That's
help me
right.
be like,
Yeah.
You know.
You can tell the right person to tell the story to.
Yeah, I think sometimes people are just trying to be polite, you know.
Yeah.
mhm.
And I did notice when we were doing the video, you know, you immediately and they're like, "Oh yeah, let me see."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
So
do you,
after our interview with you, which we got a, my wife and I booked a trip to go to Rome.
Yeah.
With my with her brother and his wife, and we booked this trip. And it's like, oh, we're going to go to Rome. And then 2 weeks later, the phone rang, and it was the Guinness Book World Record show in Italy, inviting us. Said, would you like to come to Italy and be on our TV show?
wow.
I'm like, wow, I just booked a trip like 2 weeks ago, you know? So, and I absolutely. So we had passports by then because we missed a couple an opportunity to go to London once.
Yeah, that was the reason I got a passport earlier than.
They invited us to London once, but we didn't have passports, and it was a very
Yeah.
quick thing
Mhm.
for their anniversary. I don't know what
Sure.
year anniversary it was. Do you? Was it their 50th anniversary or 60th?
Something like that. I just remember that I was 14, so I didn't have a passport yet, and we
Yeah,
were
I
like,
didn't
"Quick,
have
let's
one
go
either.
get him, go!" And then we didn't really make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how was the show? What'd you guys do?
Oh, it was awesome. They, we've never accepted money for anything.
No.
Never. And that's kind of our rule is I don't want to be obligated to anybody. I even remember when you called, I know I had that conversation with you because I had it with everybody, is this is my daughter and I'm going to trust you. And if this starts to go south, we're out, and I don't accept any money. I think you even somebody offered to pay for my gas one time or something, or, let me take
I think I tried to, or the tickets, and you're like,
something
no,
like
no,
that, or
no.
maybe our parking or something. It was like, no, I don't accept it because I don't want to feel obligated to anybody.
Yeah, that's true.
For me, I don't care. I really don't.
Right.
I have no reputation to protect or no, yeah, whatever. But when your daughter, when she's young, and that's not cool.
I mean,
Yeah, I think you
money,
said
but
you wanted it for a memory for you and your daughter when you were older.
Yeah, something respectful, tasteful. Which, by the way, yours was my favorite. I don't know about you.
Oh yeah, no, that was definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, we
No,
talked
thank
about it a
you. I
lot.
appreciate it.
Yeah, it was done very tastefully, very well. I love it. I look at it, I still get choked up. That's something that I share with everybody. It's like,
Yeah.
watch this.
I'd say that
Exactly.
one was definitely the most fun to do.
Yeah.
Like the location, just hanging out, just doing, I don't know, we were just really just having fun with it.
Well, I think you're
More
the
so
first
than-
person that took her aside and just talked to her.
Yeah, because usually I'm not really the center of focus in these interviews. But a lot of the other ones are really like down to brass tacks, like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We have to film it this way. We have to do it this way. The other one, like the one in Niagara Falls, was really just loose. We just kind of walked around, did, I thought it was fun.
Yeah, we just kind of
Really
walked
was.
around, did
It was
whatever,
serious.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great memory. I really appreciate it. Thank you for that. It's
Yeah, no,
it's
thank
the
you.
highlight
guys.
of my life, to be honest with you. Having that video, and anybody that you ever call, and people watching this, if Travis ever calls you to do an interview, do it.
Thank you.
You'll
Sometimes people
appreciate
say no because they're exactly afraid of that. Sometimes they don't want to be exploited, or anything like that. And I always just say, like, look at my other videos. Like, it's not what I do. I just tell
Absolutely.
a story. You don't really need to exploit anything if it's an interesting story. So that's
Well,
what I try and do.
I look at all your interviews that you've done. I've watched everything you've done.
Oh, thank you.
And you're very respectful to everybody, no matter how far out they're out there. And some of these people are far out there, but you actually you're entertained by it. You're intrigued by it,
Yeah, I
especially-
am.
and you let them say it in their own words. You don't put any words in anybody's mouth.
Yeah, sometimes I'll have them, like, if they say something, I'll reword it for them. So it's like in editing, it's like easier to understand and faster. But other than that, yeah, I just let them talk, and majority of the time they're super articulate. And
Yeah, it's really cool. If anybody's reluctant, tell them to call me.
I will.
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
so I guess, like, maybe to answer some other, questions that people have, like, kind of like what we did in the video, like, what was the most common thing people like? Oh, do you ever swallow your tongue, or like no, right?
Um, I
Because
don't think
I think people wonder like, is it a lot of tongue in your mouth? Like,
I'm not sure. Well, I've never been asked that actually. I've never really noticed that my tongue was wide. I didn't realize it until he pointed it out.
Yeah, we would have
So
never known.
yeah, I mean, it just feels normal, like it fits in my mouth, so I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
But
You got big mouths.
yeah, but I actually don't.
No,
Yeah, no, I've actually.
not what I heard. All right, recover. Sorry. My
No,
bad.
because I noticed when you stretch your tongue, it kind of gets flatter. That's a very weird way of
Yeah, when you
putting
stick
it.
out, I can stick out my tongue like.
So yeah, like no, my tongue looks normal when I.
I mean, there's a difference between this and
Yeah.
that. I mean, if you know,
Because
just
you're
like you
trying to
can point
widen.
your tongue if you want. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you can, wow, you got a skinny tongue. But yeah, but I mean, it's just you stretch it out. You're making it as well, just like taking your hand and doing it like this or doing it like this.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you kind of try and flatten it. As
Oh,
you,
absolutely. You
Mhm.
flex it. Yeah, just like a muscle. Absolutely.
uh,
Yeah, there you
You're
go.
like, yeah.
that's actually kind of hard, actually.
Yeah. Well, after having the record for the first week or two, my tongue actually ached.
Oh, really? I bet.
Oh, you're sticking out your tongue
I've never had that
constantly.
problem.
Constantly. So
Oh, because
yeah,
for
we
photo
got this
shoots
problem
and
with-
interviews,
go ahead.
for photo shoots and interviews and stuff.
Yeah. Well, the photo shoot was the worst because we were there for 3 hours.
Yeah, I vaguely remember it.
And I had to stick out my tongue for 2.5 of it. And I remember the lady saying, hold it out longer. And I said, you stick out your tongue for 2.5 hours. You can't do it. It hurt.
I need water. Give me water.
It just ached. Yeah.
Now,
we did
sort of back to your like stalkers or whatever, because I think that's fascinating. Like, what do they say? Like, what do they? I mean, like, I'm fascinated with things, but like, I always find like the stalker part. Are they just intrigued in you and your tongue? Like, what do they say?
Yeah, they send you pictures of themselves, and they send you long correspondence, asking what you can do with it, and
like
provocative
sexual
pictures
shit.
of themselves, and they try to, most of them will start out subtly, like, "Hey, how are you?" and "Hey, that's an amazing record you have," and you respond back to them. I respond back to everybody.
Right.
Not so much anymore. Because I just don't look at it as much. I still have a Facebook page, World's Widest Tongue. I don't know.
It's like World's Widest Tongue.
On Facebook, it's Widest Tongue. And I go, 2 months without looking at it now. Just because I've moved on.
There's the website too that I forgot you made.
It's not working for some reason. I still paid for it, but for some reason it's not working. So, but they'll start off subtly, but then once you respond, that's when they start to go over the top, or they push their agenda, and they'll offer you money for videos. If you want to make me a 5-minute video of you doing things with your tongue, and they'll get specific as far as licking things or rolling it or putting it to certain music and stuff like that. And I think the most somebody offered me was $3,000. If you can believe that.
Really?
$3,000.
$3,000 for.
When somebody asks something inappropriate, I don't respond at all anymore. I'm done.
Right. So they catfish you into it, and then they like, yeah, that's wild, man. $3,000. I mean,
they
so
want
it's
to fly you to
basically
London. They want to, I'll buy you a plane ticket to London. We'll have lunch, and I believe them. I mean, but I just say thank you, no thank you, or
yeah,
like that. But
be like, you do know I'm married, right? Like,
yeah, but $3,000 is $3,000. You know what I mean? I don't know. I've been married almost 30 years. I'm sure we can just want to farm some stuff out.
she's like, get out of here, Byron.
Yeah, there you go.
Go.
Some money. Yeah. But no, it's something you don't even put yourself in that position.
Wait, so speaking of your wife, how does she deal with it? You guys are both the widest tongued, so is she just like, whatever, I don't care?
I honestly, I think she's a little weirded out by it. I can't really tell what her emotion is.
She never knows what's going to come next.
Yeah, no.
Like this interview, it could turn out to be something. Somebody's going to make a meme of us, or and somebody made a meme of us one time with her smiling. I'm sure you've seen it.
You
Uh,
They
showed it.
focus in.
It was in the video.
I
Where
think
they
I put it in the
Yeah.
video. What was that meme? I forgot.
She
It was
said,
say here.
"Don't bring
It was
up
me
the
and Vicky
meme."
like this, and she was smiling really wide, and it said, "Here's." I was sticking out my tongue and said, "Here's the guy with the world's widest tongue." And then it zoomed in on her smile, like she's happy I have a wide tongue.
Oh, the world's happiest lady or something.
Was
Yeah,
she?
there you go. And
The one she
and
said,
that
"Don't bring
really
up the
trended
meme."
like millions and millions, like Cheech and Chong, and
People at my school saw it.
oh, it was everywhere. What's
boy.
Johnny Knoxville would comment on it? You know, it really got it went
Yeah.
crazy for like I don't know, a month,
Hmm
and Vicky did not like that.
I specifically remember before we did the interview in Niagara Falls, she said, "Don't bring up the meme when you go into the
Yeah.
interview."
That's the first thing I brought up.
the
Yeah.
meme.
My whole
Oh,
job.
because she was in it. She didn't like being the
Yeah,
center
no.
of focus.
No, she's a director of a child care center. So,
Yeah.
you know, the
God.
parents were coming in like, I saw you on the internet. You know, my kids saw that, you know, in high
Yeah.
school, and the teachers and everybody's making comments. And again,
It's
I don't
unfortunate.
mind.
Right.
But I actually think we
I mean-
tried to hide it from her for about 4 days.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't say anything, just figuring this will blow over.
I
and then
actually remember like exchanging glances, like, "Is she about to figure it out?"
yeah,
Like,
yeah, because she didn't like it.
yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
But whatever, she's okay
I
with
thought
it
it was
now.
funny.
She just, to be honest, once we got a trip to Rome, then she's like, yeah, I don't care what you do with it. That's awesome to go to Rome. I mean, how can you? They flew us first
Yeah.
class on the way back.
mhm.
Wow.
They were golden to us, just golden.
So is that the only trip that you guys been on, like as far as having the world record?
I think so. I mean, unless going to Niagara Falls counts, but like
Yeah.
we kind of.
you never
all
went
the
to
good
LA,
songs.
right?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Which we didn't go to LA for that, but
Mm.
no, we got invited to London once. You know, people usually will come to us. We had a
Yeah,
reporter
that's
come
how it
from
works.
Germany. What was the name of that show? You remember?
I honestly don't. remember.
RT.
No, it was an artist's name.
Oh.
I honestly don't remember. I'm drawing a blank.
What's a famous artist?
I mean, it is an amazing
Like
story.
Rembrandt, or there's a show
something
called
like that.
Picasso or something like
I
that.
remember there were.
It's like there's 60 Minutes in Germany.
Mm.
Yeah.
They came over. So,
Yeah, it's a great story. I mean, I don't know why more people wouldn't. You know, a father and daughter have the world's widest tongue. It's
yeah,
an
it's been
awesome
told a
story.
lot now. Yeah, that's
What's that?
actually a picture from a painting from Rome.
Oh, nice.
Different
Yeah,
trip.
we got that on our trip when we went after this one. But it's funny. I told Vicky, I said, "I'll check out Rome, let you know how it is."
See you later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, so Byron, what was the guy that beat it recently?
Can you give me just a second?
Yeah, we can look on our phone. I actually turned mine off because I keep getting texts.
I just
but-
have to use the restroom.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry.
Do you remember that guy's name, Emily? What the?
he says Brian Thompson. All I remember is I think he's a Canadian actor. That's what I remember from him.
And he currently holds the world record
Yeah, I'm not
for
exactly
for male.
Yeah. Well, in general, I'm pretty sure his is wider than mine.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it would change if like the female record was the highest one, then there would be a male record.
That would be.
I don't
cool.
know.
Right. I mean, I was talking to your dad, and he seems to think he could probably beat it now.
Does he want me to try?
I kind of want him to, man, because I think it's awesome that you guys both have it. I don't want to. I mean,
Well, he's
I
always
mean, it's
said
cool that he has it, but you know, I think it's a fun story that both of you have the male and female widest tongues.
Well, he's always said that overall he would be fine if someone else beat it, like to have the same experience, and I am too. But I mean, as much as it is sad to lose the record, I think that if someone else can have the same experience and enjoy it, then why not? I mean, we've had plenty of fun with it.
Right.
I mean, it's still relevant even many years after. It's been, I want to say like 7 years overall since we first found out. And
Right.
it's an amazing experience. And I think that and I've seen other people like online saying like, maybe I can beat it. And I'm thinking, well, I mean, nothing's stopping them. But I mean, it is fun to have it, but there's no problem in having other people try to get it.
Sorry.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, so when we went to London, that was November of 2018.
Uh-huh.
You mean Rome?
Rome, I'm
You said
sorry.
London.
Yeah, I apologize. And we did the show, and they didn't measure our tongues. We didn't know what to expect. So we were there 5 days. And we were
It
only,
was 4.
4. Well, with the travel, yeah.
Mhm.
But when we got there, we didn't have to do anything. We were there the whole time and only spent maybe 2.5 hours
I
with
want
them.
to say 5 hours actually. We had to go through hair and makeup and stuff, and
Well, I didn't feel it was that
actually
long.
the actual show was like an hour or 2.
But they gave us
I
all
was
this
in hair and
time.
makeup for like
Yeah,
at
she was
least
in
2
hair and
hours.
makeup. I just sat
They
there and
spent
waited.
more time on me than him.
Yeah. Well, my
Well,
hair was
that's
already beautiful.
yeah.
But
My hair is
so
beautiful.
for the time that we got to spend in London, and again, I was saying that earlier, we've never accepted money, and we didn't accept money for this, but they did give us, I think it was, they paid for our flights, and they gave us $750.
Nice.
Yeah. So, well, we probably spent $2,000, you know,
Yeah.
because when you get there, you got 4 days or whatever, 3.5 days, and we just did everything. Like, you know, we went to go get a tour of the Coliseum. We don't have any tours open. We got night tours. I'll do the night tour. We were nonstop. I mean, like we went to bed, woke up, and went and just saw everything we could. And so then we
Kinda
get to the
have
show.
to.
We do the show. We left there about 10:30 at night, and we had to fly out at 4 in the morning.
Ugh.
So it's 10:30 at night,
Mhm.
and we go back to the hotel, and I say to her, I said, well, do you want to go get some sleep, or you want to go do something? And she goes, let's go do something. So we went out and we went to dinner at this little pizza place. Nothing's open. Late at night. You got to go. We went to Trevi Fountain, and there was this little pizza place, and we go in there. You remember?
Yeah.
And there was an older guy working there, and he didn't speak any English, but we were all dressed up. And he said, you know, why are you all? We had makeup on.
I still had like all that makeup on.
Yeah. So he's like, you know, So we told him the story about Guinness. So he didn't really understand. So he brought his son out who spoke English. And then once he told him the story, they were just alive. Like, are you kidding me? You know? And then he brings the grandma out. So it's like 3 generations of this little pizza place, right? And we just had a ball. They loved us. They served us food.
They were wonderful.
Yeah, they were terrific. And, you know, Byron, it was a funny thing, you know. So then flash forward to April, you know, 6 months later, I go to Rome, and we go to Trevi Fountain, and it's just daytime. It's busy, crazy. There, I think we were probably the only people at Trevi Fountain.
Wow.
Remember?
Really?
I don't remember anybody.
Well, I wasn't there. This is your trip.
No. When we were there the first time, it was dark, late.
There's
Everything
still
was
plenty
closed.
of people, just not as much.
So now I'm there
still
during the
busy.
day, crowded. So I say to Vicky, I got to go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom a lot, obviously.
Yeah.
And okay, so I just go to find a place to go to the bathroom. I walk in, and there's a guy behind the counter. He goes, Byron! And I'm like, holy shit! It was that same pizza place, and he remembered me. And I say, can I use the bathroom? He's like, use the bathroom, and then brings out the mom and everything. So then I had to go get Vicky. He's like, it's my wife. And what were the odds I'd walk? I had no recollection of where that place was at all, and it was just so
awesome.
funny. But see, that's what I mean. The story, people remember you.
Right.
They remember you. And
it's so unique. That's why it's like I've never seen anything like that. That's why I reached out to you guys. I mean, you see the longest tongue,
but
the
story
widest.
of it makes people smile.
Right. Yeah, because at first you're like, wait, what? You have the widest tongue? What?
Yeah.
Because you always hear long, you don't ever hear wide, and then you see that you're like, holy shit, it's wider than a, you know, I think we had an iPhone that you did or a credit card.
Yeah, you know, people
Oh,
commented
it was
on
a
that.
credit card.
Right, you always
I
said an
remember.
iPhone 6, and everybody kept saying that's not an iPhone 6. But that was your phone. I don't know iPhone.
Do you have your wallet on you right now?
No.
No? Oh.
No. A credit card. That's the only thing
Yeah,
that's
that's what we were
8.6
talking
centimeters.
about.
The long way of a credit card is 8.6 usually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I measured up to that.
But, well.
Yeah, you did it on the video, Emily.
Yeah, that's what I'm remembering. I was like, who's?
Yeah, you held
whose
up a credit
was
card.
that? Yeah, I did.
That was
do
yours. That was your card.
Did I cover up the numbers?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But come to find out that Brian Thompson had broken my record, I think in July of 2018. So I don't look. So he broke the record in July of 2018. We were on the show in November of 2018. Mm-hmm. So I didn't even know that I didn't have the record.
Because
then.
the book wasn't going to come out until the next year.
Right. But if you went to their website, you could see he broke my record.
Yeah, but remember I texted you and I said, hey, you're in the book?
Yeah, but nobody told me. And then I think that's why they didn't measure my tongue there. They knew, I didn't know. In November that my record was broken. I didn't know until probably after even I went to Rome the second time. It was probably over a year later when I realized that he had broke it. And that's when I had told you, yes, somebody beat my record. And that was probably in July of
2019, I believe.
Yeah, 2019.
Yeah.
So then I just started telling people. I mean, you know, he's got the record. Good luck to him or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then you sent me that picture of the 2020 book when it came out. I'm like, holy cow. So I think they kind of covered their ass a little bit on that.
Or
'Cause
maybe
they
they
wanted to air the
forgot.
show. How could you air the show when my record's already in beat? So maybe they made a mistake. I don't know.
Well, because the show wasn't going to air until I think the next year or next month.
I've still never seen
Oh,
it.
maybe that's
Yeah,
why
me
you're
neither,
right.
actually.
Yeah, I've never seen the show.
No, do you think you
But
can
I
beat
think I
his
saw something.
record? Didn't you say you thought you could?
You know, it's funny when I said to you, and I mean this, it's somebody else's turn to do it. I don't really. I've done everything I can with it.
Mhm.
But what's funny is you know I haven't measured my tongue since for 3 years.
Yeah, no. Me neither.
But you know, when this next book comes out, let him have his time. But maybe if she still has the record, if somebody doesn't beat hers, I feel like I'm leaving her hang out there sometimes. I might remeasure it. But who knows? I may not be able to beat it. I don't know. But he's like
You
two.
try to keep up.
I think he's either 1.8 or 2 millimeters more than me. So I think I could probably stretch it out.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you could easily kind of.
But again,
Probably.
his is 9 centimeters long.
That's crazy.
I mean, his tongue's probably the biggest tongue in the world. I mean, you got to give him a hat tip to that. So, you know what? It depends on what he does with it.
Wait, what's the
he didn't take a
longest?
picture of his full face. He doesn't seem like he really wants to be out there and have fun with it. But maybe
Right.
Guinness has told him we made a mistake, or you know, whatever. Hold off till your book comes out, and we'll take care of you, because that's what they did to me.
He is an awesome actor. I've seen him in a lot of movies. He's like an
Yeah.
awesome
I know he was in
actor.
Terminator, and he seems like a really great guy. I've tried to contact him, but again, Guinness may have told him, please do us a favor and don't, because that's what they did to me. They said,
Chill
can you
out.
please not do or say anything until the book comes out,
Oh,
which is fair. It's nice.
that would
to
be cool to have you guys both on the show and do like a tongue off or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I would have fun with it. I'd like to
That'd
actually
be
take a
really
picture
funny.
with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be a one for the books for sure.
Yeah. Well, I sent you a picture. We have a
That's
picture with
true.
Nick Strolsberg, the guy who has the longest tongue.
Stoverl.
Stoverl?
Yeah.
Is that it?
So how long is his tongue? I've never. Maybe I should.
10.1 centimeters.
10?
10.1.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, wow, that's crazy.
It is crazy.
I've never reached out to him. Maybe I should or try
Yeah,
to.
he really is a nice guy.
Yeah, we got to meet him.
Yeah, when we went to the show, they did our segment, right? And they did his first, and then they brought us out, and we're all out there together, and then they set us down on the side of the stage. And then during one of the commercials, the host comes over. He speaks English, just not on the show. He has to speak Italian. And he said something about, "Do you remember your first kiss?" to
me.
Nick. Well, he said it to Nick.
To Nick and then.
Oh, that's
Nick made a
hilarious.
joke, and then he said, "Do you remember your first kiss?" And
Yeah.
I kind of grabbed his microphone and said, "No kissing." And he was hysterical. He thought that was funny. So he goes, Can you do that again? You know, let's do that over when the camera." So the camera started back from commercial, and he had us do that again. And I said, no kissing. So I'm hoping that made it, because it was funny. You know, it was
Yeah.
and that's all we kept. But then
I really hope they didn't get me tripping when I was on the show.
that's right.
Do
You
you
almost
remember,
you tripped.
there was a piece of stage that was like this, and I stumbled over it as we
I
were
remember
walking
that
up.
No.
Like, oh, it's going great already.
But at the end of the show, they had the guy. What did he do with the?
The guy who stacked the most scoops of ice cream on a single cone.
Do you remember how many it was?
I think it was 26.
What?
20 something. They were small scoops though. And
That's a
he built it, like,
bizarre
the
one.
largest ice cream scooper there. He built it.
Yeah.
Like his own to stack it?
Oh no! He had like a giant one, like as
The
tall
world's
as me.
largest ice cream scoop
Yeah.
he made.
But he scooped. He did the record live, where he they were like small scoops, like smaller than a usual scoop.
Yeah, gelato in Italy they do similar scoops.
Yeah, but he was able to. He was actually there to reclaim his record that got beaten. So he was doing it on the show. I think it was 23 to 26. I don't remember how much.
I think 26 is right.
Yeah, and
Wow.
that was a huge ice cream cone.
So-
And
Go ahead.
I was gonna say at the end of it, he managed to beat his own record by the record that got taken. And then at the end, they grabbed like these 3 little spoons for us and Nick in the audience, and we all got.
Yeah,
to
well,
taste it.
they asked us, and Nick is kind of the same way, I think. They asked us, "Do you mind coming and eating ice cream after he scoops it?"
Of course.
And I said, "Yeah, but I don't want to lick it."
Mhm.
And they said, "No, that's fine." So when they came out, they brought us 3 little like baby spoons.
Yeah, you kept them.
Well, that's funny. they brought us these 3 little baby spoons, so we're eating them, and then on the
Like
way back,
this big.
Yeah.
Spoon.
on the way back, on the what was it, the van that we were taking back to the hotel?
Yeah.
It was me and her and Nick, and I went to Nick. I said, We stole our spoons. And Rick, he reached in his pocket and he pulled out his spoon. I was like, that's
I
cool.
didn't
We
even know
kept
that
our
he did
spoon like
that.
a memento. You know? Yeah.
Now, do you think they gave you small ones on purpose to see if you would lick it or something?
I have no
I don't
idea.
I think maybe just to, I don't know, maybe they just had them on hand.
I have no
I
Or
don't
maybe
idea.
think-
that could be like a European thing, you know, because it's just
Possibly. I mean, those
dainty and
spoons were tiny
small.
on the ice cream
But it
cone.
was just funny that he kept his as a memento too.
Right, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So we
Why
we'll
not?
have our spoons.
Yeah.
So should we at least stick out our tongues?
I thought I was surprised we haven't yet.
Usually
I mean, like, what are we doing?
You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I think you can beat it, man. You gotta try again.
Actually, you know what? I'll measure it and secretly I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah, yeah,
But
because
we'll give it a year first and see what he does. I
Mm.
mean, again, and see if somebody beat. Not that I want somebody to beat her record, but I'll be relieved because I feel like there won't be that pressure. Like, all right,
No,
I
I'm
brought you out on
perfectly
this
fine with it.
ledge. Now I left you.
Yeah. No,
Um,
and first, that's not your fault. First of all, second of all, as I've said before, I think if someone else wants to go for it, then go for it. I mean, good luck. I'm just,
yeah,
Well, there's always people out there that tell you they have a bigger tongue than that.
yeah, I've
They're
seen
like, my
people
tongue's bigger than
try.
yours, and they may be, but they didn't go through the process, or maybe they
Mhm.
sent that letter
Yeah.
where they got it back for $5,000 and said, I'm not doing it. Read the fine print
Mhm.
because you can do it for free.
I've had people tell me that they think that they might be able to beat it.
And if they
And-
do,
and I let them
and
try.
she's the same as me. If you do, you do. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
We've had as much fun as I think we can have. I don't know.
I mean, we've
You
got
never-
to go to Rome.
There might be a phone call tomorrow. It'll be like, hey, wait a minute. That's again, it should have
Yeah.
nothing but fun.
I think I've seen a lot of people, girls in general, that have like really long tongues,
Mhm.
but never wide. Like, you know,
Well, it's
that's
funny now, even on
special.
TikTok, somebody will say ridiculously long tongue or wide tongue check, and they'll stick out a tongue, and then I'll duet it. You know, it's I'll do
Wait,
that.
are you on TikTok? I'm new
Oh,
to
yeah.
TikTok, so I'm just starting this whole
It's
thing.
I'm
not
not
under any
really.
tongue thing. I think what is it under the dude? I'm the dude.
I have no idea. I haven't seen your TikTok at all.
Yeah.
Are you on
Somebody will
there?
do something with the world record, or they'll put something on there.
Mm-hmm.
One of them got like 26,000 views that I
Yeah.
duetted with somebody.
Really?
Resurfaces on TikTok quite
Yeah,
a bit.
every once in a while. But if I see it, somebody will send it to me, and then I'll
Oh.
duet them, or I'll do something kind of funny,
Just to be like, hold on, watch
Yeah.
this.
just entertaining myself. Yeah,
I actually love TikTok, man. I'm so happy it didn't go away. I
I'm
mean,
addicted. I
Yeah.
really am. I love it. I laugh so hard at some of these videos. I can't take it.
me too. I just saw a couple funny ones yesterday. I mean, I used to play games a lot before I started doing all this, and there's a Call of Duty one on there where if you've ever played Call of Duty, it's just a bunch of
Yeah.
young people yelling and screaming at each other, and you know, F you, blah, blah, blah. Like the joke is this guy showed up at this person's house and he called them out by his username, and this guy's like, wait, what? He's like, basically the joke is that he, after 5 years, he came there to F his mother because he told him, I'm going to F your mother in the game. And then like 5 years later, he's there and he's like, yeah, remember me? And then it
That's
was
Oh
funny.
my god.
yeah.
Do you know who Mr. Hamilton is?
Mm-mm.
No. All right. Never mind. But Mr. Hamilton's a guy who's on there that went from no fans and now he's like TikTok famous.
Oh, the teacher.
The teacher, Mr. Hamilton. Yeah.
Yeah, I know him.
I
yeah.
love following that guy. You can't find a nicer guy than that guy.
Yeah, I've seen a few of his videos dancing with his students and stuff.
Yeah. What a
That's
great
pretty
dude.
fun.
So yeah, I love TikTok. They're all meeting people and stuff like that is cool.
That's how I find a lot of new people because, you know, you can
Oh, I bet.
flip, you know, and everybody seems to be on there. So,
Yeah.
you know, and it's just anybody can do it, I guess. It's just if you're entertaining or you know, have a unique talent or, you know, it's wild, man. I don't
Well, I
know.
remember you telling me about that place out in Venice Beach, and I went there and it was closed.
Oh, the freak show?
Yeah. Did
Yeah,
you
they
ever
closed
reopen
that.
anywhere?
No, they closed that down, you know, because Snapchat bought that building and then they
Oh.
booted them out.
Well, he talked about opening up somewhere else, and then by the time I went out there, it was gone.
Yeah, that was a really cool place, man. I did a lot of videos with people that worked there, and
Yeah, I look forward to seeing it. I went there just to go see it.
yeah, it was very sad that because there's really no freak show or sideshow kind of thing anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you have one in New York on
Oh,
on the boardwalk or something. But yeah, I really don't know other than Vegas, but that's a show. You
yeah.
know, they're just not people hanging out outside. I mean, it was very sad. Like,
Yeah, those people really enjoyed it.
that was their livelihood.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, and a
And
lot
it's
of
not
people.
weird if you don't make it weird. I've learned that with
I
this
mean,
record.
yeah, I mean, I loved it right when I first saw it. I'm like, this is great. So, and they had a TV show there and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, they're supposed to start up a new one, but I don't think they had the funds or whatever. So,
Yeah.
and I don't know that they would get the traffic because just people walking down Venice Beach, and you know, you see the hairy guy, or you know, Allie, you know, she's like the smallest actor in the world.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
I don't know. It's sad.
Oh, you did a video with her, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I
With
remember
both
that.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's cool. Yeah, she's
She
out
was really cool.
there.
She was
So
really cool. Yeah.
we use
I
my
love your
buddy's.
videos. I hope you keep doing them.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. It was great talking with you, and thanks for taking the time to do it.
Good to see you. Thanks.